Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about another practice strategy that can be really helpful when you encounter a difficult piece of music. So first of all, the things that don't work are playing the whole piece through and trying to play the piece as fast as it goes. So if you keep trying to play the whole piece through, you're going to keep making the same mistakes that you've been making all along, and nothing's going to get fixed. And the same thing if you're trying to play it up to tempo. If it's a hard piece of music and you're trying to play it as fast as it's going to go, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes. So I don't necessarily want you, when you're practicing, to practice a long time, but I do want you to use your time wisely. So that means that you're not playing through the whole piece if you're only struggling with one or two measures. And we're going to talk about ways that we can break that down today. So for the Christmas pageant, you're all playing Ding Dong Merrily on High. This is a quick piece, and there are a lot of notes, so it's definitely a challenge for you. So I'm going to take a look to begin at the recorder 1 part. So I'm looking here at measures 17 through 24. I'll show you there. That line, and then one measure on the next line, okay? And as a reminder, a measure is the space between two bar lines, okay? So we've got like here to the next line, that's one measure. We're in 4/4 time, which means there are 4 quarter notes per measure. So we are counting to 4 every time. Okay, and there are a lot of eighth notes. So remember, 2 eighth notes fit into a quarter note. So we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Whenever you encounter a new piece of music, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you can identify all of the notes that are in it. So a good way to do this is to just go through and name the notes, at least for the part you're working on. Make sure you can name those notes. Okay, once you can name the notes, you want to try and speak them in rhythm. So for example, if I'm looking at the very beginning of Ding Dong Merrily on High, right here where you come in after an 8 measure rest, I would say C, C, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, C, C, B, C, C. Okay, that's me naming those notes in rhythm. Once you can do that, you're going to pick up your recorder, but you're still not going to play. You are going to do the fingerings while you speak in rhythms. So that would be C, C, D, C, B, A, G, G, A, C, C, B, C, C. Okay? Once you can do that, you're finally going to try and play the passage. And with the first line of this piece, you can probably play that at tempo right away. But the section from 17 to 24, which then comes back several other times, has a lot of notes. So I would suggest doing this using a technique I call chunking. Is a way of breaking it down, or blocking would be another way to put this. So you're breaking it down. You're looking at one measure at a time. So again, following those same procedures where you are making sure you can name the notes first, and then you are speaking them in rhythm. Even if it's slow, I don't want you to do it up to tempo yet, but you're speaking those notes slowly. Then you're putting the fingerings on with it, and then finally you try to play. So for measure 17, and hopefully you have your music at home because I need to read this copy. So measure 17, the notes are G, F, E, F, G, E. So I can name all those notes. Now I'm going to try and speak them in rhythm. G, F, E, F, G, E. Now I'm going to try and do that with the fingering. It's starting on high G. So as I mentioned in the last video, high G has a half hole on the thumb. So I'm doing that with the half hole. So then G, F, E, F, G, E. And then finally, I'm going to play it. Okay? Now I'm going below tempo, and that's fine. If you go fast from the beginning, you're just going to make a bunch of mistakes, like I said earlier. So you want to start slow and build the tempo over time. But the first thing is just getting the notes correctly and in rhythm. That should always be your first thing before you try to speed it up. So now I would do the same thing with the second measure of that section. So I would name the notes, F, E, D, E, F, E, then I would try and do it in rhythm. F, E, D, E, F, D. Okay, and then I would use the recorder. F, E, D, E, F, D. And then I'm going to play those notes now. Ah, and I made a mistake. See, that happens too. That's why I need to practice. Okay, so now I can do those measures pretty well by themselves. So now I'm going to try and put those two together. So here we go. I'm going to try and play those two measures together. So I'm still going a little bit slower, but that's okay. You would do the same thing, adding a measure. So I would work in 2 measure chunks. Do the first measure, then the second measure, put it together. Do the same thing for the third and fourth measures that you need to practice. Put those together and then try and play those whole first 4 measures of that section. And if you do it like that, it's not going to take you that long.
Students in grades 3 and 4 who have banking report to the cafeteria.
You can tell it's a Wednesday when I'm recording because it's banking day. But we keep going. So you'll do measures 3 and 4 and then put all 4 measures together. Do the same thing going on from there. And that is the best way to practice. Once you can play the whole passage consistently, slowly, like this, so once you can do it slowly, then you're going to try and speed it up. One of the best ways to work on speeding something up is to use a metronome. And a metronome is something that keeps a steady beat for you. Now, you can buy a physical metronome or you can download a metronome app on just about every device. The really cool thing is that humans cannot hear tempo differences of less than 5%. So if you work the tempo up very slowly, you're going to kind of trick your brain and your fingers into doing the right thing. You're just kind of speeding it up gradually and you don't even realize that you're doing it. It shouldn't take too long. So let's say you're starting at 60 beats per minute. Okay, that's a pretty slow tempo, about like this, around there. The next thing you would want to do once you can play it perfectly, no mistakes, at 60 is you're going to try and bump it up to 63. That's a 5% difference. 3 is 5% of 60, so there you go. So you would go to 63. And once you can do it at 63, you go to 66. And then to 69, 72, keep going up by those 3 beat intervals. And soon you'll be playing it up to tempo, no problem, and you will be ready to go. I look forward to hearing all of you as you work on this piece and look forward to hearing your progress. Have a good day.